Resident Evil Requiem is only 10 hours long for a $70 game that is completely unacceptable. First of all, if you're surprised by this, you've never played a Resident Evil game in your life. This is and always has been for the last 20 years the standard runtime for Resident Evil games. But even then, the more important factor here is nobody wants an intense survival horror game to last 80 hours. They're not supposed to be long games. They're grueling, mentally and emotionally taxing experiences. No one would ever finish an 80-hour Resident Evil. This isn't an open world Assassin's Creed slop. If you don't want to pay $70, that's totally understandable. I mean, that's a lot of money. But I've never understood why modern gamers act like it's completely absurd for 10 to 15-hour AAA games to be $70. Game prices have been relatively the same for pretty much the entire existence of video games. Video games were $60 for about 15 years from the Xbox 360, PS3, all the way through the Xbox One and PS4 generation. The cheapest they've ever been were when AAA games were about $50 on launch during the PS1 through PS2 era, but adjusting for inflation, they really weren't any cheaper. But if you go back to the Nintendo 64, $60 was the standard game price, and lots of third-party titles like Star Fox 64 and Turok launched at $70, sometimes $80. This was nearly 30 years ago in the late 1990s, and back then, games on average were much shorter experiences. Just looking at games on this list from GamePro magazine, Turok took about 8 hours to finish and cost $80. GoldenEye was $70 and took 8 to 14 hours to beat. Mario 64, 12 to 17 hours for $67. Star Fox cost $80 and only took about 3 hours to finish. Long story short, in no way is it abnormal for a 10 to 15 hour survival horror title to cost $70. Modern gamers are just the king of complainers as always, and also quality over quantity all day long, and Requiem is a very quality video game.